Top 5 Friday tonight. We're gonna go with top 5 camp stories. I don't have many of them. I'm like,
Oh, it's Friday night. Don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I could sit here and pick my nose while I watch a brand new video. Whoa. Top 5 Friday tonight.
Number 5, it was for a bachelor party. Pretty much, we all got together, we all hung out, we cooked, we did this and that. But they were like, hey man, we got this big 5-man tent. Do you want to come in and, do. And I was like, no, I'm good. So I just literally stayed out by the campfire the entire night. On number 4, I'm chilling at home. I'm not expecting anything. My friend Big Mike, he hits me up. He's like, hey dude, I'm going camping with Chris, my old drummer, from the first band I ever played in, 2-Story Outhouse. Badass name, by the way. He was like, do you still have my tackle set, so we can go fishing and this and that? I was like, yeah, I do. He goes, can I come by and get it? I said, yeah, no problem. Come by and get it. He comes by, he gets all his stuff, and he's like, do you want to go camping with us? No, I don't want to go camping with y'all. It's fucking February. It's literally, it's right now. Like, kind of deal. Like, it's cold. And then as he keeps talking to me, I'm just like, yeah, F it. I get the wild hair at my butt to where I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's go camping. So they're like, okay, grab your sleeping bag, grab your stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm good to go. Let's go right now. I literally walk out with nothing but the clothes on my back. Stupid mistake. Because halfway through the night, and I'm closer to the campfire than I am right here. Like, I'm like right up to it, and I'm not warm enough. So I go out, and even though you're not supposed to chop down anything, you're supposed to like collect brush and whatnot. I'm sorry, but I did it. I was that cold. I was like, no, this is survival. So I was like all night long, every 2 hours, I was literally out scouring for wood or brush that I could bring back to make the campfire hotter. Didn't happen. So I had to chop some stuff down. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not proud of it. I conserve nature as much as I possibly can, but when it comes to my survival, it is what it is. So that is number 4. So number 3 is gonna be whenever I was living under the bridge. Something I haven't told everybody is at one point in time, whenever I was living under that bridge, I woke up and there was a snake literally like curled up next to me. If you don't know, snakes are cold-blooded creatures. They're reptiles. So they love body heat. They love that kind of stuff. So I woke up one day. I didn't know what kind of snake it was because I wasn't looking over that much, but I woke up and I just kind of felt something under me. And I'm just like, what is that? And I glanced over. I'm like, oh man, that's a snake. And it looked brown. So for those of you who don't know and don't live in Texas, brown is usually not a garden snake. It's usually a viper or a rattlesnake of some sort. It wasn't, but I waited for 2 hours. I literally sat there like for 2 hours just waiting for that thing to crawl away. And it did finally, whenever the sun came out enough, whenever it actually hit the concrete. And I'm just like, oh, thank God. I was finally able to move. I don't know about you, but I'm not spooning a snake. But when you have to, sometimes you got to spoon a snake, and that's all I'm saying. Number 3, And this is actually going to be a twofer because I've never really given too many details about whenever I stayed out in the field. I had a friend who lived really close to this field where he would sneak me into his attic. Like at night, when it got really, really cold, he was like, hey dude, man, you can't sleep out here at night. And he goes, I'm gonna sneak you up to my attic. So we did this for a few nights in a row. We did this for like 3 nights in a row where they actually had asbestos and stuff like that. And I didn't know that, but hey, we did that and they finally caught us after like day 3. I remember because I remember waking up and being like, oh, because I heard the door open. And the stepdad comes upstairs and he's looking around and he looks at me and I'm like, pretend like you're asleep. Pretend like you're asleep. So I'm like keeping my eyes closed kind of deal. So the next day, literally, I show up and they're both there and they're like, hey, you can't stay in the attic anymore. I'm like, Along with that story, in the field, we had just got the Anarchist Cookbook number 2 or number 3. I forget which one it was. So, we decided to go out into my field and cook something that we shouldn't have been cooking up at all. In between the process, I have to take a piss. So I'm like, okay. It's like, all right, guys, I gotta go take a piss real fast. So I go and I'm taking a piss and I hear what I think are people, cops, running at us. I run back to the base camp, if you will, my sleeping spot. And I tell them, hey guys, somebody's coming for us. Everybody stops and everyone gets quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop, and you can hear it, and we're getting ready to fight. Like I'm not even playing with you. It's like me and 2 other of my friends. I'm not gonna name names, but we're getting ready to throw down. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, okay, as soon as they jump out, we go for it. And Pokemon come out of nowhere. By Pokemon, I mean armadillos. Like literally 2 armadillos come out and start hissing at. Apparently armadillos hiss. Yeah, they start hissing at us. So these Pokemon attacked us. And after we get them to go, because eventually they did, they stopped hissing, they turned around and took off, and we were just like, oh man, I'm so glad that wasn't the cops. A long time ago, we used to be in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, okay? But there was like a Boy Scout jamboree, one of the ones where you do the rope ladder and all that stuff and see how fast you can run, everything like that. So we're there, they had the blob. Oh, the blob was great. Do you know about the blob? It's like this big inflatable bag, and like you jump on it and then you scoot down to the end and then the next person jumps on it and launches you off. Kind of do it's like some jackass, but safely, if you will. After all the fire had gone down, after everybody had eaten, 4 of the boys, 4 of them, decided that it would be a really, really good idea to take a piss on a sleeping member of their tent, if you will. Yeah, all 4 of them decided that's a great idea. Let's take a piss on this dude. The next morning comes and we all get lined up, every single one of us. And the scoutmaster is so mad, so irate. And by the way, this scoutmaster was like the closest thing you will find to Flanders from The Simpsons ever. Like whenever he got burned, he'd be like, ouchie wisers. It's like, highly, oh, neighbor. Like, straight up, this dude, like, we called him Flanders behind his back. The scoutmaster's like, look, whoever did this, if y'all don't step forward, everybody's going home. So everybody else is like, hey, come on, man. You gotta step forward. You gotta own up to your own stuff, your own stuff that you did. Two of the guys stepped forward. And I'm like, yeah, that's about right. That's what I expected. And then finally, another two guys stepped forward. And it is not at all what I expected. I'm just like, wow, are you serious? You did that? I'm just saying, that is my number one though, is the time I went to the Boy Scout Jamboree and 4 boys pissed on another Boy Scout and thought they could play it off because they said it was a wild animal. I'm not even playing. They're just like, oh, maybe it was a wild animal or something. That is my number one. If you like this kind of content, I would appreciate it if you would go to my channel, which we just started up. We've only got 4 videos downloaded so far, or uploaded, if you will. And I would appreciate it, if you guys could hit those stupid buttons.